So let's get started. Let me share my screen. Okay, so yes. Okay, so far what we have seen. Let me just quickly let's have some revision on that. Okay, so how to see now we know the firewall. Why the firewall used? Firewall is used to allow and deny the traffic between two different zones. So firewall basically every interface of the firewall binded to the zone. Zone is nothing but the boundaries. Okay, so from this boundary to that boundary, if anyone want to cross, then firewall should have a policy there. That's the objective of the firewall. And also firewall has it maintain a session table. A session table means a track of information, like which source talking to which destination on which particular port. So he will keep the track of that. So two things firewall does. One thing, it maintain a session table. Second, we need to have the it maintain a policy table where the rules will be written there. So the source, destination, who can talk to whom. So that is the firewall. So we are, this is the firewall definition of any firewall. So we are into the Cisco ASA. Cisco, there are multiple vendors from the firewalls, like Cisco has a ASA firewall, adaptive security appliance. Checkpoint is the vendor, they provide the firewalls. Juniper, Junos firewall. Palo Alto is the firewall, right? Fortinet, FortiGate. So these are also firewalls. Okay. So all this firewall does the same things. Okay. But right now we are looking for the Cisco ASA. ASA and the Cisco ASA, it was the port-based firewall. Like it was looking on the layer 4. Like as we know, the layer 1 is nothing but the cables, all your connectivity and all, right? The layer 2, the switches will be there, which learn the MAC addresses. Then on layer 3, the routing will be there. The router will work on the layer 3, and the layer 4, guys, can you on mute if not talking? Okay, so and the layer 4, on layer 4, the Cisco ASA was there. So ASA, what it does is it like it work on the security level. Like you need to create the interfaces and you need to create the zone. And the logic of ASA is higher security zone to lower security zone is by default allowed. Like your inside zone, it is a higher security. Like you have given 100 number, so it is it can go to the zero, like outside. But from outside, from the lower security level to higher security level, like 0 to 100, people cannot come. That's the default behavior of the Cisco ASA. And if you want to allow any 0 to 100, like lower security zone to higher security zone, then you need to apply a policy there, security policy there. That's what we have done right so far. So Cisco ASA, like configuration, Cisco ASA has a privilege mode. Then you need to put the enable and config mode. We already configured this one. Then password, by default there will be no password, you need to provide the password, right? Then config terminal, we go there. And like file management, Cisco ASA also has a running configuration and startup configuration. Whatever configuration you have, it will be in running configuration. If power gone or firewall shutdown, then entire configuration will be erased by default. So what you need to save the configuration by saying the right memory. So it will save into the startup configuration. So two files, running configuration, that is nothing but the RAM, and the startup configuration, that is nothing but the ROM. It will be saved like permanently, right? So to clear, you can clear the config all, all the configuration will get erased. So but don't do it in the production, but you can do that. There is an option. Then, or you can say erase all to like write configuration means copy. Erase means you can remove it. Then you can reload the firewall by reload command, so it will get rebooted, right? So okay, now this is the thing. See, you need to understand this one. Like uh, the objective of Cisco ASA learning here is you need to understand what is the role of firewall. Okay, why you need this one. See, instead of firewall, if I put a router there, okay, so what will happen? You remember, if you put replace a firewall with the router, so what will happen? See, router has three interface, one, two, and three. And when you configure interface, so router will in its routing table, what are the network will be the network one, two, and three. And you know the by default behavior of the router. So router does a routing by default. In its routing table, it will show all these directly connected network. So these people can talk to these people, these people can talk to these people, these people can talk to. So everyone can talk to each other. That's what the router does. But Cisco ASA is not like that. What Cisco ASA does? Okay, Cisco ASA, when you replace here, it so same thing. We are configuring the IP addresses here. All are the three networks, and you can see in the routing table also. Firewall also has the routing table. Okay, RT. But there is a difference with this IP address. What we are putting, we are giving a security level. See, we have given the name if is outside security level 0. Here the name if inside security level 150. So now this is the one. So what will happen by default? Higher to lower security level is allowed. Like this guy is an inside. He can go to the outside. He can go to the DMZ. Okay, there is no restriction from the firewall because he is a bigger one. He has the value, higher value. Similarly, the DMZ, this server, okay, it is in the 50. The number is 50, so he can go to extra outside because he is a 50 and he can go to the 0, but he cannot go to the inside. He cannot talk there. Why? Because lower security level to higher security level is denied by default. Okay, similarly, this outside people, like internet, any thread, any people can be on the internet. So when they come to your inside or DMZ, so they are external, right? So firewall will drop all the traffic there. No boss, you are from the 0 and my security values are 50 and 100, you cannot come here. So, but if someone say no, I want to come, I'm authorized person, I want to access this particular DMZ server. Okay, then you need to write a policy here. You need to write a ACL here, saying that this particular source can access this particular destination on this particular port. So explicitly, you need to allow that. Then only it will work. So that's the default behavior of the Cisco ASA. That's why the ASA is required. So it provide permit and deny. Okay, so basic configuration we have already seen in the interface. We provide the name, if IP address and all. See, host name, you can give the host name to this firewall. And under the interface, you can give the see a name if the outside, inside, and whatever the name DMZ you can provide there. Then you have IP addresses. You need to provide the IP addresses under the interface. Similarly, DSCP or security levels. Can you see these three commands? Name if, IP address, and the security level. So these three commands we need to provide into under the interface. Yeah.
Assalamualaikum, brother.
Yeah.
Sorry to interrupt.
Yeah.
Just I get it out. I get it out. As what you explained is we were having a similar setup in our company. But how can we allow a particular traffic like HTTP or HTTPS? Suppose if it is a web server in the DMZ or else an exchange server, the users would like to users access their emails through Outlook web access. So
Right.
in that, so how should we allow some traffic based like HTTP or HTTPS protocol based? How
Yeah.
come?
Yeah. Okay. So that is the security policy. So what will
Okay.
happen? Let's say uh, this is the Outlook. Okay. This is the
Yeah.
Outlook. Okay, which is hosted in the DMZ. Okay, so
All right.
this is the inside and this is the outside. Okay,
Okay.
so what will happen? okay, and inside we put it into the 100. The security level is 100. This is the 50, and this is the 0.
Okay.
Okay, so
Okay.
what will
Yeah. Correct.
happen? The inside people by default they can go and access the Outlook. There is
Mm-hmm.
no restriction, no policy is required there. But
Exactly.
the same people, the some people they want to access the Outlook from outside, right? They want to
Okay.
access the outside from their home or from some VPN site or somewhere. So
Yeah.
that
Exactly.
time, they will be a zero security zone. So that time you need to allow a ACL here, access
Okay.
control list. So it will
Okay.
say this source can access from this source from zone outside can go to this particular destination, this web server, which is in the DMZ on port 80 or port 443.
Okay. Okay.
We
Got
can
it.
we can we can give the
So port
policy.
based,
Yes,
port based
port based.
access list.
Yes,
Yeah.
access list we can. I will show you that in 2 minutes. I will
Yes.
show you that.
Got it.
Actually, we already spent 1 week on this one, like how to create policies and all. So that's
Yes.
why you're not aware. So I will cover
Yeah.
that part for you. No problem.
Sure. Thank you, Amit. Jazakallah.
Okay. 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 So okay. Okay. There is one more thing. Like in the ASA, let's say you have 100 security level here and 100 security level here also. 100. So how it works? So in that situation, there are some scenario. In that situation, you can say this command: same security traffic permit, same security traffic permit. So this one you need to apply that when you want to communicate between the same security level. Okay, so these are some more extra command like speed. You can provide the speed duplex, full duplex. That is not mandatory. And management configuration you can configure on the Cisco ASA. And if you want to shut down the interface, just shut down and say no shutdown to up. NAT, we have seen. What is the NAT? Like we know that this inside people, okay, they want to go to the talk to the internet, they want to go to the internet, so they cannot go via source as a private IP addresses. So you need to make it public. And how to convert from private to public, we do a natting, right? Network address translation. So what we'll do, we will say that this source, okay, if they are inside, they want to go to the outside, then take this interface. So this interface will be generally a public IP address. So they will represent to the internet via that public IP addresses. So NAT, you already aware with that. Then some more thing, NAT. Okay, this is how we configure the NAT. Actually, okay, route outside. So see, default route. You remember in the routing, we need to give a default route because see, internet means any IP address. 172. Oh, sorry, 8 dot 30 dot 62 dot 50 dot something can be there. So that routes will be here, okay, on this internet router. So what we do in the firewall, we give a default route. See, if anything with the 00 or if anything come, so it will just pass here, and from here it will pass to the internet. So like this default route we have given, so we do route outside. See, in the router, how we give the static route: IP route, source, sorry, destination subnet mask, and the next hop. But here the IP, that term will not use. Here we will use route and which zone you are targeting. Route outside 000 and this one. Okay, that's done. Okay, so this is some examples of configuration. See, this is how the DMZ configuration look like, and NAT and the route. So these are the basic configuration which we do in the Cisco ASA. And in the remaining commands, show CPU usage, show version, and show IP address. So these are the command which we use. So if you put the show interface, so it will give you more detail. This is the interface. What is the bandwidth? And what is the packet input, output? How many things are going on? So these things you can do it on the switch, router, on the ASA, okay, firewall. So all these interfaces details you can see with this command. Show IP interface. In the router we do show IP interface. Give the particular interface name. So you will get the detail of that particular interface. Okay, so similarly show name if you say, put this command, so you will see which interface is associated to the which particular zone. Can you see here? This command show name if is not support of the packet tracer, but in the actual router you can see that. See here, the outside security level is this one, and inside is this one, this one, this one. This one. Show name if and show run NAT. Similarly, show XLAT. If you want to see the NAT conversion, then you can use the XLAT. Okay, and show route. So instead of show IP route, we use the show route command. It will show you the routing table. And ping is the same command. Ping you can do directly from the firewall. And trace route, you remember in our machine what we do a tracert command, but in the ASA we give trace route if you want to trace some particular destination IP address. Okay, so this is how something actually these are this thing we already covered, but I'm just giving you some details about that. Okay, so which we already covered in but in the PPT I did not show that, we directly see on the lab. Okay, so these are the pieces of the firewall. The first thing, the basic configuration. Now the next what we do, we give the interfaces, we give the route, we give the NAT and all. Okay, that's done. Then next ACLs. Now ACL. Why the ACL required? Security appliance ACL configuration. So access control list. Okay, the first thing is ACL is nothing. It is a from the layer three. Okay, it is a packet based uh, filtering. So the work of ACL is permit or deny. Okay, so if you see here on this particular ASA, so this is our inside zone. Okay, 100. This is our outside zone. Okay, so when you say ACL for outbound access, okay, when outbound means when inside people want to go out, so that time you know required outbound permit is by default allowed. Okay, but outside ACL for inbound access, these people want to come inbound to into the firewall. So inbound deny by default by the system is. Okay, so where you need to provide the ACL. So see, these people either way they can go outside. So you not required a outbound ACL here, but you need to give a ACL in the inbound if you want to specifically allow someone. Okay, so that's the beauty of ACL. So there are some more thing about ACL permit and deny in the initial coming and outgoing packet on the interface. See, when the ACL take the decision, when the initial incoming and outgoing, see these guys are incoming, okay, and someone are going outgoing, so that time you can the ACL will get applied. And ACL must be described only on initial packet of the application. Return traffic does not need any description. Okay, let's say for example you have given one ACL here saying that this particular guy can go to the this particular server. So when it go, so this is a outbound ACL you apply. So for the returning you don't require the ACL, because when it go the destination table will maintain by the ASA. It will say okay, A just went to the B on this particular port 80. So he will have that session table. So you don't require the return ACL. Okay, if there is no ACL attached to the interface, the outbound packet is permitted by default and inbound packet is denied by default. So you need to apply the ACL, and see after creating the ACL you need to bind to the interface. Okay, we discussed in I have shown you in the last week classes that we need to create the ACL, then apply that ACL to the particular zone, particular interface. That's how the ASA works. Similarly, okay, now see in this scenario, the previous scenario was only inside to outside, two zone was there, but now here we have a three zones: inside, outside, and the DMZ. So generally, why the DMZ come into picture is demilitarized zone. So demilitarized zone, it means like if you have a web server, okay, like if you have something, which the people want to access from the internet. Okay, so if you keep your web server, let's say in the previous example, let's say if you put your web server here somewhere in the inside zone, so what will allow, you need to allow the rule saying that outside to inside come here on particular this one. So outside world is very dangerous. Okay, if somehow something got malicious in this server which is inside, so it will, that particular virus will be impact into entire land. And in the land you have multiple from MPLS, multiple offices that get connected and all, so entire your organization will get impacted. I have seen this example in my real time experience, how the virus impacted the servers. So the 6 to 8 days the entire thing was gone. Like every folder, I have seen the real virus. So every folder, when you open that folder, you will find another folder into that. When you open that, another folder will be there into that. So where is the data? We were unable to find out the data. So that's the virus is. So somehow and it was impacted into one server, and from that because that server was connected to the LAN, so the user from other sites, they are accessing that particular server, so they will get impacted from there to there to, so like this, around thousands of machines got impacted with that. So we called three different vendors. We called three different vendors, like of the antiviruses, and we asked them, okay, provide the solution. We got impacted. So, like, I will not tell the names, the vendor and all. So they came here and they provided solution, and it takes around 5 to 6 days to remove the completely removing that one if virus. And there is a two approach of the security. One is the reactive approach, reactive, reactive, and one is proactive approach, proactive approach. So reactive approach, generally most of the people what they do is reactive approach. If the virus they impacted and they realized that how the security important, then after that they took the decision, no, we need something here, we need a IPS here, we need a IDS here, we need more security and all. So that time it called a reactive approach, means they they like they got the pain, and now they realize that okay, security is important, so now they spend amount on the security. Okay, say firewall, IPS, IDS, URL filtering, then the like what is called vulnerabilities, finding the vulnerabilities, and the antivirus solution and all. Okay, so that is the reactive approach. The proactive approach. Approach means, when you design your network, that time you should have all the security parameters. Okay, this is my edge firewall. I should have IPS, I should have IDS, I should have antivirus, I should have vulnerability tools and all. I should have a separate team of the security. They will maintain, they will look at to the internet, what are the threats are coming, what are things are coming. So this is called a proactive approach. Reactive means after you go, damage, after the damage you do a solution, but proactive approach is always appreciable. So every organization they do a proactive approach. See, security, it is a day-to-day activity. It is not a one-time solution that one day do you do and done and finish. No, every day new things are coming. Okay, so this is what the thing. So that's why we don't put any web server into inside. So what is the solution is, you can put it into DMZ, and you can give like security level at 50. So what will happen? See, still these people are still in the zero. They cannot come to the higher. So what you can do, you can give the ACL. So when something happen to this particular zone, so they will be within a zone. And here what we do, generally we just put our public servers and front end applications here. Actually the back end of this server will be, the database will be inside. So if something impacted, so they will impact on isolate this particular server, nothing will be impacted, but your inside will be secure. That's why the DMZ is in place. Okay, so you will see this type of scenario in almost all the organizations. They will have the zones and where the public servers will be created there, placed there. So what will happen? See, inbound. When the traffic, they when they try to inbound to DMZ, it will be blocked. So there is a no ACL. So by default, inbound access is denied. To permit inbound traffic, complete the following steps. See what you need to do. You need to do configure a static transaction web server address, configure an inbound ACL, and apply ACL to the outside interface. See, you need to create the ACL. You need to say, okay, do you know that what are the public IP addresses which will come and access to your DMZ server? No, you don't know. So from internet, you need to say any source from where outside. From outside, they can they can talk to my DMZ server on the port 443 HTTPS. So that's it. That rule you require, and you need to apply that rule on the outside interface into the interface outside. So you're opening a loophole. You're opening a small hole into your firewall that okay, these people can come and talk to this particular this one, and rest everything will be denied. You remember the ACL, how the ACL work, one, two, three, it work in the sequential manner. So whatever the one, two, three, and the last policy will be default denied. It will be denied. Okay. So okay. So you can see here. So static route is given. Okay. See here. So how the rule is permitted. Let's say our DMZ server is this one, 172.16.1.2. Okay. So permit inbound HTTP. So how we do, we created a ACL access list, ACL out. This is the access list name. What we say, permit what, protocol TCP. Any, can you see the any source, any, to whom, to host 192.168.1.9. You know the 1.9, it is actually the public IP address. It is actually public IP address you are allowing here, because 172 you cannot open for the public. This is the private subnet. So generally, right now here example is 192, but in actual world it will be your NATed. Actually, your DMZ server will be NATed, so it will be public IP address. So you have to give public IP address and the equivalent to www or port 80 you can provide. So now permit outside HTTP traffic to access web server. So this is how you get. So these are the options in the ACLs you can provide. See, you can protocol and n number of thing options are available. Okay. Next is, after you created the access list, then you need to apply that access list on the interface. See, you need to say the same access list ACL out in interface outside. Why? Because this is actually block. This is block and this is allow actually by default. So what you are saying on this, you are applying the ACL here, saying that from anyone from outside they can come and talk to this guy. That's it, nothing else. So like this, you can apply that. Okay. So show access list. That the command. It you will see um, all the hits. You can see here. See if someone, can you see here? If you browse something, so hits you will see here how many hits are coming. So see in the ACL out, in this particular ACL, you have these lines: line number 1, line number 2, line number 3. So these are the lines you have. Okay, and you know the last line, what is show? Extended deny IP any. So you have allowed these people only to access www, to access FTP. Okay, you can access HTTPS. Okay, and the rest everything will be denied. So you allow three people, 1, 2, and 3, and the fourth policy is denied. Similarly, on the ICMP DMZ. So here what you said, permit ICMP host by any host, any echo reply. So what you said here, we apply just ICMP. So you can apply the ICMP. Okay, ICMP means ping. And ACL in, can you see? So ACL in TCP, any host can talk to this guy. So like these are some examples of the how the ACL is look like. Okay, so the counter means what? In the ACL, when you hit, so if you see here, so you can see the hits, right? hits, 8 hits, 9 hits. So you can clear that counter by using this command, clear access list ACL, that ACL name counters. So it will get clear. So everything will be clear. So you can test it. This command is useful when you do a testing that time. Okay. Okay, there is some time-based ACL also you can create. What you can say? You can say enable access from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. on particular August or some this date to this that date. So this is called a time-based ACL. You can create that also. Okay, there are some requirements. I will tell you the real-time example that uh, when you do a penetration testing to your organization, pen testing, that pen testing means the outside people. Okay, there is a outside organization, so your organization, you will pay them, and say that please attack, please do a cyber attack on us. So what will happen to these people? They will attack on all the possible ways, their ports and all, and they will generate a report that, and they will give to you that these are the vulnerabilities you have. Your interface is open to the world, your management are not secure, your ports are open here. So they will give options. So when these people come, so they will say that, okay, we are coming from this particular IP subnets, please allow us. So and they will give, we will come in this week. So you can create a time based ACL. So they will come and try to attack, and they will generate a report, and they will go. That's it. Their work is just to make you show that, okay, these are the open things you have, you need to secure that. They will go. So that time, whatever, if you forget to open that, disable that, so time based ACL. So after that time duration, so that ACL will be vanished, it will no longer work. So it's good option, right? So to use the time based ACL. There are some more periodic time, and there are some advanced things you can see. Then some more example time based ACL. Okay, and access list, say, ACL out and interface we apply on the interface. So this is the things which we require. And echo reply outside, unreachable outside. So permit all unreachable message the outside interface, deny all ping request at the outside interface. So you can uh, apply echo reply. You can ICMP reply, you can block on the outside. Why? Because from internet, if you have a DDoS attack, so what they do, they will continuously ping multiple to your interface. So what will happen to reply every packet, your ASA CPU utilization will be high, so it may went down. So this is called a DDoS attack. Similarly, it will happen to your DMZ servers also. So these things can be secured by blocking that. Okay, and there are something that we're not going into that detail. You know what that. Okay, so this is how this one. So let's move back to our this one. So this is a packet tracer. So guys, again I am telling you, watching this video will not help you. Okay, like this hundred and thousands of videos available on the YouTube. You don't need of this class. Okay, you need to do the practice. If you don't do the practice, then I don't think anyone can help you. Okay, so practice is required for this one. Okay, so what we have is, if you remember, and can you please confirm how many of you completed the ASA lab? Waris, Muhammad, Umar.
I have done, but the packet tracer keep crashing.
Which packet tracer you downloaded?
731. It keep crashing, but I done it.
No. So crashing means, see, when you click on that, so it will ask guest login. So you need to say guest, confirm the guest, and after 10 seconds, you will get an access.
7.3.1.
Actually, what happened when I tried to log in?
Mhm.
Cisco page comes on. I log in. I put my credential, and
Okay.
it allow me to work. But when I close the program and I try to open it, it just open and Windows comes.
No. So see, this is
I will
also.
send you. Yeah, I will send you in a minute. Later, I will send you.
So what
Yes.
you can do is, see, let me just close it. Okay, again. So let me just close it. Okay. and let me open my packet tracer. Okay, so this page is coming first. Okay, see here, this page is coming. So here you need to
Yeah.
say continue as a guest. No need of login and all. Just say continue as a guest. So just
Ah,
when
okay.
see
Okay.
now, hold on. Just you say, so it will pull you to the website. Don't go there. Now if you see here, can you see here the guest 10 second? Guest user can save file up to 3 times. See, it's saying guest login 3, 2, 1, 0. Confirm guest. Now you are into the packages.
Yeah.
Got it?
Yeah. Yeah.
So like this you can do. And here is the ASA. Just pick the ASA. Okay, and you can work like we already I gave you the topology, right? You can use that IP range. This is your inside, and here you can make this is your outside. Okay, uh, outside, and here you can use it connectivity. Okay, this guy, it is connected to the switch, and from switch to it is connected to the firewall. For it connected giga ethernet one by one, and from here it is connected here to internet router, and from internet router it is connected to the, let's say, let me take this as a
I
okay.
just send you the message.
Okay,
Yeah, the error message is there.
okay.
Oh,
So this is a web server. See, I'm telling you, just prepare the small basic topology and feel the ASA. Okay, so in this side, what you have to do here, you just need to be on this machine. See how quickly I'm going to build it. So I'm just giving IP address 192.168.10.168.10. Okay, this is one machine, and my gateway is 192.168.168.10.1. Okay, that's done. So here also outside, what I'm going to do, I'm going to say this web server is nothing but 8.8.8.2. Okay, and the subnet is 255.255.0, and 8.8.8.1 is the outside interface service. So that's done. So here now you can configure the router. In the router, see this guy, what you have given 8.8.8.2. So this interface will be 8.8.1, and this side you can give 1.1.2, and this side 1.1.1. So three networks are here. 1, 2, and 3. Three networks are here. So go to the router. Just go here CLI. Just say no. Enable config terminal, and interface giga ethernet 0 by 1, IP address just say 8.8.8.1 255.255.255.0. Just say no shutdown. So now from here you can you ping to your web server 8.8.8.2? Yes, you can ping. Okay, it's pinging. So now create another interface, config terminal interface giga ethernet 0 by 0. IP address will be 1.1.1.2 to 255.255.255.0. No shut. So router work is done. Just go to the firewall now. Okay, now configure the interfaces. So this side will configure first. Okay, so by default there is just say enable, no password is there. Okay, now go here config terminal interface giga ethernet 1 by 1. Okay, say first give the name it inside. Okay, security level is 100. Give the IP address is 192.168.10.10.1 255.255.255.0. Okay, no shutdown. Okay, you can ping directly from here 192.168.10.10. Can you ping from firewall to your LAN? Yes, you can ping. Can you see here? You can ping it. So it's done. So one interface is done. Now just go here this side and configure this interface. Interface Giga Ethernet 1/2, name if outside. Okay, then security level 0. IP address is 192.160. Oh, sorry. IP address is 1.1.1.1, 255.255.255.0. No shutdown. Can you ping to the router external interface, inside interface 1.1.1.1 to? Yes, you can ping. Yes, can you see? Yeah, you can ping. So that router has the IP route, internet. So we can view the route, default route, 0 route, say outside 0.0.0.0, then 0.0.0.0, then give the next hop 1.1.1.2. Finish. So now your ASA is ready. Now say show route. Can you see your routing table? Okay, your routing table is here. Can you ping to the LAN 192.168.10.1, 10.10? Yes, from ASA I can ping. Can I ping to the external website 1.8.8.8.2 external machine? Yes, I guess ASA can ping that. See how it's working quickly. So this is done. So now what you have to do is that's done. Okay, NAT config terminal. Just say okay. So now see here. Let's look at the default behavior. Can from this machine, can it ping to the gateway 192.168.10.1? See, it's reaching to the gateway. Can it ping to the internet? Because it is coming from lower security, right? 8.8.8.2. Can it ping? No, it's not pinging. Why? Because by default ICMP inspection is default denied here on the ASA. You need to allow that by a group policy. So say class map, let's say CCNA, okay, and just say here match default inspection traffic. Go exit. Now create policy map, okay, use CCNP name, CCNP, and here call the class CCNA, and just say here inspect ICMP. Go back. Now finally service policy. In the service policy CCNP and interface globe, or not interface, just say globe. So globally you are asking firewall to inspect this one. So now just go here. Can you ping now? Okay, let's do the NAT now. Terminal object network LAN. Now subnet 192.168.10.10.0 255.255.255.0, and now view the NAT here. NAT is inside to outside. Okay, inside to outside, and what you're saying, dynamic interface. So this is PAT we are doing. So what we said, we ask anything inside to outside it go, it take the PAT. So you go here. See, the policy map is not working here on practice. Okay, but can you see here show xlat? Show xlat. Can you see it's natting from here? It's going outside. So let's try ACL. So I have one ACL here. Let me apply that. Let me give the name as a ping. Ping. Okay, so I'm applying here. Okay, copy it. So what is this access list ping? Extended permit IP any to any and ICMP any to any. So I'm just applying here. Config terminal. Okay, so I created the access list. Now I need to apply it. Access group ping where in interface outside. I just applied that on the outside. Can you see it? I'm able to ping. So if I go here, so what happened is show access list. Can you see here? Hit counts 4. It's allowed that ICMP any. So that guy is able to ping, which is on the that interface. So this is how the ASA is. So okay, now similarly you can create n number of policies. Okay, you can create n number of policies. So ACL. So similarly, if you have a DMZ, so similar, what will happen only? You will have a DMZ server here. Okay, DMZ server, and you just need to connect your ASA firewall to this one here to here. Okay, and just create the DMZ interface or terminal interface gig Ethernet. It's called it is 1 by 3. Right? Name is DMZ. Okay. Security level is 50, and the IP address is, let's say, 192.168.20.1 255.255.255.0. Okay, I have given this one. So similarly, what I can do, I can go here and I just need to configure the DMZ server 192.168.20.10. Okay, and 192.168.20.1 will be my gateway. See, it is same like a router. Okay, nothing different. Okay, it is by default shut down. See, now shuts down. Can you see it is enabled now? So can you ping here? Can you ping to the gateway from here? Ping 192.168.20.1. Yes, you can ping to the gateway. Okay, so now are you able to go to the internet from here now? Ping, because 8.8.8.2, because you are in the 50 zone, so still you cannot go. I think that service policy map, it is not properly working on the packet tracer. So what I can do, the same ACL which I apply outside, so I will apply again on the this one also, the same ACL. Where is that ACL? Okay, at ACL group in, let me give DMZ. Same ACL I applied here. No, it's not. So something is there still in the packet. See, and packet tracer, it is 100% it cannot work. But this is how we control via the ACL. So firewall, it is actually the boundaries. Boundaries are blocking here. Okay. Okay. So this is how last week also. So now, like, this lecture is repeated again. Okay. The interfaces, ACLs, DMZ, and all. Again, we repeat it. Why the objective is you have to do the practice. Don't just believe on the result and don't wait for the result. Okay, but the configuration of ASA is very important. You have to, I have given you the notes, so please use that note and try to configure it by tomorrow, because I need to take the VPN. I was supposed to start the VPN today. I did not start it, so we'll start the VPN tomorrow, but you need to do complete this lab today at anyhow, and update into the group, please. Okay, after completion of this lab, at least forget about the DMC. At least do the inside and outside and try to ping and all. You the I have given you the notes. Just follow that and do it. Okay, guys, I need to jump on to another call. So let's stop for today, and we will continue tomorrow.
Thank you.
Inshallah. Assalamu alaikum.
Thank you.